Hi guys, I'm gonna show you today, we're gonna do a little bit of a workshop in here. I'm gonna show you how you can do a virtual MIDI device, meaning that you can replicate one of these ones into this, so with the tablet. So mainly you don't have to carry around a MIDI device, a bulky MIDI device. With these ones, mainly you can control your DAW, in my case Ableton. So if you can see, go here, a little bit of a virtualization. So if I twist the knob in here, one of these virtual knobs, it will turn in here, in this VST that I got on Ableton. And this is just an emulation of this one. Mainly the main concept I want you to grasp, that I will show you now, is that this is just a MIDI device. So it just understands this protocol, the MIDI protocol. So you don't need to understand how Ableton works with this. You just need to mimic exactly the knobs in here and the messages that sends. It's just a little bit of understanding of MIDI protocol that I'll put down on the link below, on some links I'm gonna send you. And yeah, we're gonna get hands on this. It's pretty cool, you know. I just wanted to make the video because no one, I haven't seen much documentation, and there is quite a nice community about this. It's called, this program is called OpenStage Control, and you can do pretty cool stuff. You know, it's been around for kind of 10 years, but like lastly, it's gaining momentum. So let's get hands on it. You know, I'm gonna have a lot to tell you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to use this OpenStage Control. And I'm gonna try to be quick because I don't wanna spend the whole day, neither you do. Okay, so mainly you have to download the version whatever you're using, Windows, Linux or OS, Mac. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to use this OpenStage Control. And I'm gonna try to be quick because I don't wanna spend the whole day, neither you do. Okay, so mainly you have to download the version whatever you're using, Windows, Linux or OS, Mac. And then let's do it. So I'm using Windows in here because I'm using Ableton. Mainly I use Linux for everything. But yeah, okay, let's check the things. You can open the program with the executable. It will be like this. Let me check. Stage control. You can open the program with the executable. You should follow the documentation online. It's pretty complete, but you need to actually try things. This is what it would look like. You have to configure a couple of things in here in order to communicate, to make your templates. You press play, it will start the server. So this basically works in a server client model. So meaning that you create a server with this program, and then you can you actually log in with the browser from another place, or maybe the same computer, connected in your local area network, in your LAN, and then you can tweak with the knobs from a browser. This is one of the utilities of this program. For example, I got some templates in here you wanna see. This program, OpenStage Control, is made for the protocol OSC, which is like an advance of MIDI. It's not gonna substitute it, but is something that it might work on top of it. For example, this one is like a launchpad. If you've seen the Novation launchpads, it's a little bit imitating that. You can actually trigger the pads. Here is the OSC, some kind of like device I made, like custom device, and this is the virtual VCR 2000 that I got, the VCR, the Behringer. Okay, so let's go, let's check. You need to write down the messages of your MIDI controller. Okay, the first step, let's go into Ableton, and you just need to like go knob by knob in your controller, or button by button. Like for example, you press MIDI, you go button by button. If it's buttons, what you want to map, or if it's knobs, you need to mainly press. I'm pressing. You don't see it, but I'm pressing my controller. And then what you see in here is the notes, the MIDI messages basically. This is the left hand side is the channel, and here is the CC messages. They're not note messages. Well, you got pretty like loads of them. This is the MIDI protocol. This is something you should look at if you don't know a little bit. Let me show you. You got a video. I'm gonna put you some links as well on the description. The MIDI protocol is mainly sends messages in 3 bytes. So if you know a little bit like how binary works and like how computers communicate each other, the first byte is for the status byte. So the first one is always 1, and then you got 8 and 9, and this is hexadecimal. So when you get this is mainly, well, hexadecimal. You don't need to really understand this, but on the first byte you got two parts of information. It will give you either it's a note off, note on, control change, or it might be other messages, other types of messages like pitch bend, aftertouch, the second byte, what this sends is the note number or the CC controller number, and then the third is the velocity. Either if it's a note on, is the velocity. If it's a note off, it's a release velocity. Okay, but you don't really like, if you go with Ableton, you don't need to understand this. Is just to understand that this is on channel 9 and this is CC1. You write down those things like mapping. I don't know, if you got like an image of your controller, you can go one by one, twisting, wrote in here like 01, 02. These all CCs in my case, 01, 02 till 08. Then this one is this row of controllers. From encoders goes from 81 to 88, 89, 96, or 104. Well, you pretty much understand a little bit how to control it, but as I told you, you just need to understand that this is pretty simple. It's just sending these messages and that's it. You know, like despite that it's quite thick, the device, you know, it's just a simple thing. Okay, so let's go to open a stage control. I got it in here already. It's already mapped in here. If you press Ctrl E, you go to the editor. This one I got recreated. So these are called widgets, and you add widgets basically by pressing right click and add widgets. You can you got pretty much a lot of stuff in here like text indicators, paths, sliders, what scripts you can do pretty much containers. You know, you can actually panel the things, put them like on the left, on the right. Then it works like in a container basis. You will do like a tree organization. So if you put knobs inside this part, like this is a device. What is this called? I forgot what's the name of this. But you add the knobs in here, and there will be like childs of that container, which is the virtual VCR. Then you can switch them. You can do a lot of things that you might want to check later. You know, this is all step by step. Let's check. For example, let's create a knob. Just do like this, and then you got in here on the right hand side in the spectre. You got the ID of the knob. It's important. It has to be unique, and then some other stuff like where is it placed. you can actually drag and drop with the editor. The style of it, you can change the color. You can, for example, put it like pinky. Yeah, you see, not many things, because this follows like CSS. You got some rules, like if you know CSS, you might be able to do like a pretty nice one. No. Here, like each specific widget has its own properties. Obviously, you try to emulate some kind of like a hardware behavior. So in this case, let's check. It's a knob, yeah, virtual circular. I don't exactly know how it works, like knobs. You can check on the website. It will tell you things. But in here, where you can see like mostly like the properties you can assign. This is just a simplification. What we're doing is just simplification of the actual hardware. Like a virtualization, we can say. Value and then OSC. This is basically what it sends. It's made to send like OSC messages, but you can do MIDI messages. That's what I'm gonna show you in this video. Okay, so for example, let's go in here. How I have configured this one. This is the way you should address MIDI. I'm gonna show you that later, but let's do a new one. Actually, create a new session. And yeah, let's create. So I'm gonna twist. Okay, I'm gonna twist the first left-hand knob, top left-hand knob in my device, which happens to be channel 9. It's everything on channel 9 apparently, and it's CC1. Yeah. So let's see a little bit of syntax in here. Well, I'll show you a little bit then later the different things that we need to check as well, considerations for creating a virtual MIDI. But let's just do this device first. We add a slider knob, press on it, and then let's check this at that side. You need to follow it. Yeah, you got the rules in here, yeah, to make OpenStage control to be MIDI compliant. If you need to make a knob, like a basic example, you need to, if it's sending CC messages, you need to have it on the address. Just put in here control. In the pre-RX, you need to make an array like this, and then the first one is the channel. The first one, this one, is the MIDI channel. In my case, it's 9. Then the second one is the control number. This one. Well, you need to put also in the knob on range, because this is made for OSC. But if you want to send MIDI messages, the protocol of MIDI goes from 0 to 127, as I showed you before. So like the maximum is 127. And then for buttons, yeah, for buttons is something different. And then yeah, you got four buttons. And let's check buttons in here. Buttons will be on like 127 or 0. Yeah, say like this is control. This will send, for example, number 7. I'm not actually replicating a button, but it's just to you to see. Once you save this will work with your MIDI controller. Okay, let's save this. Template. So let's see what I just showed you. Okay, well, we're gonna get outside the program. I'm gonna show you the example, because then it gets a little bit tricky in here. We need to make a virtual MIDI controller, so we need to create some ports, virtual MIDI ports, in order to communicate with the DAW. This step is a little bit different in between Linux and Windows. Linux and Mac works the same way, but Windows is a little bit different. You need a utility like this one. In Windows, let me show you, to create a virtual loopback MIDI device. This loop MIDI by Tobias Eriksson, it will basically need, because MIDI works in a unidirectional way, so you need to create an inside port, I mean an inbound port and outbound cable, let's say. So let's say device in device out. This program is for free as well. You can download it online. Now when you open, you need to tell OpenStage Control to create this virtual MIDI controller before you open the actual program. It's better to do it, actually I prefer to do it with the command line, because then you just you can copy paste whatever, you know, like the arguments you need to put. Let's check. So let me just pop into the program again. BonusTH control. I'm gonna just change the templates. I just realized that I have something, a little bit of a mistake. Forgot to put the virtual MIDI ports that the virtual device have to send this to. So you open the editor, you click on the knobs. For each widget, you need to specify that. You need to specify which port you need to send this to, which MIDI virtual controller. The target, yeah, here the target, I missed this. Target, you need to put like MIDI, if you want to do a MIDI one, and then virtual MIDI controller. This will be the one you create by yourself with OpenStage Control. You're going to create one with OpenStage Control, and then two virtual ones, which are like the cables, which are made with the loop MIDI program. I'm going to call like virtual MIDI controller. Okay. This one is a MIDI virtual controller. Let's try to be neat. Let's create them like a virtual MIDI controller. Virtual MIDI controller, virtual MIDI controller out. So now we're gonna open up a PowerShell session, just the console, and let's do it with the command line. In order to open this, first let's save this. And we need to open back again the program, so we can tell to create this virtual MIDI device, which now hasn't been created. We need to specify the ports and stuff. Okay. you need to put like 2 dashes, because in Windows it works like that. And then to specify, or like you can see here, like if you are familiarized with the command line, let's see if we can do this and check yeah, we check what is the parameters we're gonna input, and this is nice to use the command line, you know, because anytime you want to create the same device, you want to get the same virtual device, you can just do one and then copy it, and you don't have to be typing it on the GUI. Okay, so we're gonna send the MIDI virtual MIDI controller, and then we're gonna output it in the virtual. Well, this is the input, it goes to the output, and the other way around, because this is gonna be connected to the door. Virtual MIDI controller out, virtual MIDI controller in, and we're gonna load the template. Let's see, load. This is some path. Where did I put this one? I almost need to check where I put the template. Just give me a second. Okay, so I found the path where I have this template I just created, the example template. I'm gonna just open the program with this. Okay, yeah, by the way, this program, there's a nice community online. There is, I'm gonna put you the link on there. There is a forum, and some people have done templates already of existent MIDI devices, or mostly like OSC devices. Well, yeah, feel free to participate on that, because it's quite cool. We can share our stuff. No, this should be outputting perfectly. Let's see this. So you can see you can also use this program in here, like this. Let's see in Ableton. So you go to preferences. In here, well, I got so much stuff. Let's see. So the input is gonna be device in. Output is gonna be device out. If I just want to show you that this is connected to, like, both programs are connected. You know, like then configuring it will be your task. But if you twist the knob, you see that it's getting messages, so that's cool. The same with the button, so that's cool. You know, then you have to do it accordingly, and then maybe, you know, like you can replicate one of these with a control surface, and yeah, you can do your own. You know, like. Then another thing, let's open the web application. Let me show you. So you can actually use a device that is connected on the local area network to use this. Don't got this computer connected to internet. I don't want viruses to pull in my computer. Let me check. 192.168 550 80 80. This should work. I don't know if I have to put something. Oh, just goes to the yeah, well, it won't work in here, but you see that it's logging. Yeah, you need Google Chrome or Firefox, it will work perfectly. Okay, my recommendation, you use a tablet. Let me show you a couple of things. If you're gonna use Android, you can use Opera Mini that has a full screen mode, so then you don't lose anything of the frame of the tablet. Like you want full control, you want full availability of your screen. Then also on Android there is a mode that is called immersive mode, that you can actually hide the battery and the buttons below as well. You can do it this way. I'm gonna put you all these links below, and then you can, the really cool stuff of this, what I want to show you is that you can link this with a MIDI control surface, that there are loads in Ableton. I use one that is really good from Isotonic Studios, which you can control any device. You map it with a tool, and then you go like Clifix Pro, you got way loads of control with that. You got the links below, so that's pretty cool. I hope you can participate with the community. I hope you learned a little bit with this. As you can see, I'm also learning as well, so thanks very much to see this, guys. Yeah, see you around. Thanks.